In this video we're going to learn how to create our own flash deck using Japanese my way. From the main menu here we're going to select the flash decks option, which will give us a list of our existing flash decks. We're going to click edit and say we want to add a new deck, and we're going to give it a name. In this case I'm going to call it January 2011. We can select an image to go with the flash deck by either choosing a photo or taking a picture using the camera. For now I'm just going to save here and click done. We're done it, editing decks. Now we're going to select our new deck, and by default we have no sections, so we're going to create a new section, and we're going to call this my verbs. Section type, we either choose to practice individual kanji, dictionary entries, or phrases, which are sample sentences. So we're going to keep this at dictionary, and we're going to add some verbs. When we click on add to add cards, we're basically in the dictionary browser where we can select dictionary entries here, or we can do a search. I'm going to search for the verb to speak. And we're going to add to speak, and that's it. And then we're going to have to write, and we're going to add the verb kaku. When we're done selecting cards here, we hit the select button, and we see our two new cards that we added. And then we click save to save the section. We can add another section here if we want to, but for now we're just going to click done. And from here we're back to our sections list, and we can pick one of the sections here to instantly start playing the flash game. So we see to write, works much like the paper-based cards, flashcard system. We see the meaning, which is to write, and we're going to guess, okay, I think that's kaku. And we turn the card to see whether we got the answer right, and based on the honor system we answer either right or wrong. In this case I got this right, so I'm going to say right, and then we move to the next card to speak. I'm going to guess hanasu and turn it over, and again correct, we hit the right button. Because we're practicing verbs, I'm going to show you another feature of Japanese my way. We can actually choose which form we want to practice. A lot of beginners start not by learning the dictionary form but by using the mass form. So here we can select for each word type the form we want to practice. So for verbs we're going to practice the polite form, which is the mass form. And we're going to go back to play, and we're going to say to write. In this case I think the polite form is kakimasu, so we're going to turn the card, and that gives us the answer kakimasu. I'm going to say right. To speak, I'm going to say hanashimasu. Did we get it right? Hanashimasu. Correct. So this allows us to practice various conjugations as we progress through learning Japanese, and we learn new conjugations. We can choose to practice them. These settings for the type of conjugation we want to practice, as well as the picker for which words we want to practice, and indeed also the games that we want to play, are remembered for each section. So for some sections we might want to practice writing, for other sections we might want to practice guessing. So it remembers the last game we played, the last cards that we picked. So when you go back in, you're always at the point you were at before. And that's the basics of creating flash decks. I'm going to show you one last thing. When you actually, for example, in the dictionary and you're looking stuff up and you want to find a word you may have just overheard in conversation, you can pick a word here. We might say to read. We say, we were playing that. We can actually add to the deck at any point in time here. So we can say here, okay, I want to add this to my January 2011 verbs, and we hit select, and it adds it to the deck. So anytime we're maybe looking something up that we've come across in daily life or conversation, we can add it to the deck at any point, and then it's there for us to play the next time we go in. Now, I find this is very useful. I generally have a flash deck and a section for each month of the year, and when I come across new words that month I add them in and I can then practice them. So I hope this has been useful, creating flash decks in Japanese my way.